Matt's channel at first, and of course from the clips that we have from Leaving Neverland, you'd think, okay, Matt was a diehard fan, and that's where you started out, right, Matt? You started out as
Yeah,
a
yeah, I can give
Michael.
you some backstory, especially on that clip as well.
Hmm.
So I started way back in 2005. I joined YouTube after Michael was acquitted on all 13 charges. YouTube was made in, I believe, May of 2005, and I joined halfway through June, just after the trial ended.
Hmm.
And at the time, I actually was not doing anything regarding his allegations. I was researching them, but I wasn't making videos regarding his allegations. In fact, at the time, I was making a lot of mixed videos. I would edit like concert clips and music videos and make little like compilation type videos, and they became very popular. In fact, between 2005 to about late 2007, because I got banned, um, at the time I was one of the most popular Michael Jackson fans on YouTube. There
Wow.
was only like one or two people who were more popular than me. One was a very, very famous editor who did editing similar to what I did, just much better. His username was Big DB. Not sure if you ever heard of him, but he was huge back in the day. Huge. He was like the only person who was bigger than me. So I was popular for doing the edits, but I was still discussing allegations, but only in the comments. I would go to videos and I would argue with everybody on the planet to defend my Lord and Savior. And I was popular for that too. There would even be people talking about me on a video that I hadn't even commented on. That's how big I was at the time.
Mm.
Unfortunately, though, I was banned at the end of 2007 for uploading a very large amount of copyrighted material.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then I rejoined on a second channel known as I called it Moonwalker Maddie. It only lasted a few months because I got banned again.
Oh no.
Um, Tried to regain some popularity, couldn't do it. Then I came back a third time, calling myself the One MJ Matt. This appeared about mid 2008, and this is where I was still doing the mixes and a couple defending him videos, but I had also shown my face on camera for the first time at this point. This channel also got banned in late 2008.
Wow.
And then finally, in October 2008, I opened up the Matt's FTR page. And from this point forward, I was only doing videos talking. Was done with like doing like these little supercut edit type things. And it was talking videos of two kinds. Number one, defending Michael Jackson, researching the allegations. And two, I love, and I still do today, talking about the world, talking
Hmm.
about, modern day worldwide corruption, government, media, all that kind of
Politics,
stuff.
that kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
And that's what I'm still doing today. Um, so yeah, that's how it started. And then even though I was trying to do both, um, my allegation videos also took off, especially towards when I was actually ending. I was doing it in '09, 10, 11, and 12, but even though I ended around 2015, it was 2 years prior in 2013 when I actually took off because now have you heard of Mike Parr or MJ Victims?
MJ victims. Yes, I know that. Yeah. Hmm.
So the guy who runs his name is Mike Parr.
Mike Parr. Okay.
And I was the very first person that he argued with, and it was quite an interesting war. We made so many videos back and forth. I made so many videos calling him out for not just saying that he's wrong about the allegations, because at the time I thought he was, but also he's not exactly the greatest person. Like, quick example was in 2013, he tried bribing people to follow him by giving away a PS3,
Ooh.
and he was also stalking a lot of celebrities on Twitter and even saying things like, "It's okay, tell us Michael molested you," to like random celebrities. It was very strange what he
Okay.
was doing.
We'll
I
just say
respect
that
him.
these are your allegations that he did that. Okay. All right. I have to. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
it was rather strange behavior. I mean, I don't really. Okay, I can fault him for that, but I also understand him because he is a victim himself. At the time, I didn't believe him, but I do now because I thought he was using that for view farming.
Hmm.
I learned later, actually, he really is a victim, and his beliefs about Wade and James are 100% genuine. He's not just doing it like a lot of people used to.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I pretty much stopped making allegation videos around 2015 and stuck to just like worldwide political stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much my backstory. Oh, as for the fuck you Wade video, I
Yeah.
was making a lot of
How old were you at that video? How old are you?
I would have been 30, almost 36. I would have been 23.
Okay. 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 Okay.
23.
You look really young. I was like, is he 16? Okay.
16? Holy crap.
But
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, at the time I was making a lot of Wade videos. I think in total I've made 21, maybe. And what's funny is that in most of them, I would say pretty much all of them except for like two, I was being very matter of fact. I was giving the evidence that I knew and I saw and I provided it. And swearing is my thing, but I don't usually swear that much as the fuck you Wade video. But for some reason, I forgot why, because it was 13 years ago.
Hmm.
But that video in particular, I was really angry. So I
Hmm.
went off the rails. And even the evidence I showed in the video was much more poor than it was in other videos. So it was very ironic that Dan Reed took that video specifically because it is literally my weakest video. So I gained a reputation from people who didn't know me on the worst video I'd ever made. So that really upset me. I didn't like that people were like, "This is the fuck you Wade guy," and it's
Oh
like,
no.
could you watch my other videos to see that I'm actually not? I mean,
Hmm.
I'm the fuck you Wade guy from the documentary, but
Hmm.
not as a person.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, when you saw that it was actually used in Leaving Neverland,
Oh my God.
what
So
was that like when you like, oh my God, what was that
so
like?
there is actually a video of that, like of my raw reaction. I'll send it to you after. You can edit it in if you want.
Sure.
But I was watching the documentary, doing a live reaction with my friend Jacob, and I already knew I was in it because when the documentary was released, I got about 300 people on Twitter saying, "Matt, you're in Leaving Neverland, Matt, you're in Leaving Neverland." I'm like, what? I am? What? What the fuck is going on? Because I didn't watch it until it was like a month into its release, but a lot of people had seen it before, and I was being hounded on Twitter like, "You're that guy." I'm like, "What guy? I haven't even seen it yet." So I watched it, and then I just hear, I think it was like an image of Michael doing his like arms out thing. And then I just see myself. I have really fucking had it with you, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you to fucking hell, whatever I said. And I'm looking at myself like, holy shit, he took this? No way. And then after me, he took another YouTuber named Robin's Egg. I'm not sure if you know her. That was the black girl who
Yeah,
appeared in the
right.
documentary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Robin's Egg. Although what's weird about her about choosing her was that she had only made like two videos on her channel. So I don't know why Dan took her, but
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah.
And then he put me in, I don't know if you know, but he put me in a second time.
Yes. The
Yeah,
second time when Wade's case gets thrown out.
yeah, and you hear me laughing. And
Hmm.
again, and then the other reputation was people thought I was like crazy for the way I was laughing, but actually it was an act. I was
Right,
it was
right.
like sarcasm. I was doing a fake laugh. Yeah, that. I was doing a fake laugh just for the humor, but yes, I was put in there a second time. That video was called Wade's Case Has Finally Been Dismissed, and that video is back up, by the way, just for the hell of
That's
it.
great. Hmm.
But yeah, so that's the history.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about your evolution, like how. So
Sure.
you started out vehemently, upset about Wade, making arguments for Michael Jackson, and it's been going and it's evolving. So can you tell me about that process? What brought you from there to now here, where you're kind of like at least willing to listen to the other side of the argument and weigh things a little bit more? Like, can you tell me about that evolution?
Yeah, I mean, definitely back in like 2013, 14, when I was starting to end and it was all the Mike Parr stuff, um, I was definitely not willing to listen to anything he had to say, or anybody else for that matter. Um, Now, when I left the community in 2015, it actually had nothing to do with the allegations at all. It was fans because they are so fucking toxic. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my original reason for leaving. I just couldn't stand how toxic they were, their behavior, the way they talked, the way that they would, like literally, I have a term for it. I call it an MJ puppet, which is basically if you don't talk about MJ, they want nothing to do with you. Absolutely
So
nothing.
were you finding that when you were talking about other things like political issues or whatever, were they like saying, "Why aren't you talking about MJ?" Was that kind of is that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like at the time, I would say right through from like 2012 right up until today, it would be like, well, on my previous channel, because again, even the Matt's FTR page was banned in 2020 as well. So I've been
oh,
banned 5 times in total. That's
it
why
was
my
all copyright issues? That's what it was.
no, actually the most so when I was banned in 2020, it was because I post really controversial videos as well, and YouTube with their
Oh,
censorship.
right, 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 right. Yeah,
So at the time, it wasn't copyright; it was just controversy.
right.
but yeah, so that's why all my videos now are like 4 years old. It's because I was banned again in 2020.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
Yeah, but like the toxicity, how did
yeah.
these fans act?
So if I made a non-MJ video, even my previous channel, which is bigger than my current one, I would get like 150 views. And if I talked about MJ, it was over 1,000.
Hmm.
Easy.
Hmm.
Per video. They didn't care. And if they commented, it would say stop this, go back to MJ. It was just, and they're still like that. Like I still see it with fans and other people, and I see it when I live stream. I see it in my chat being like fans in the chat being like, watch MJ stuff, put on MJ's music, and it's like, can you please try and get a life because
Yeah.
they have
There are
no
other
other.
things. There are other.
It's crazy. So that was why I left originally in 2015. Since then, I've just, and the thing is too, my obsession decreased in all aspects of life, not just YouTube. Like even at home, I know I got my lights off, but I have a lot of MJ collectibles back here and stuff.
Hmm.
And about 2 years ago, I sold half of it.
Oh.
It's just because I didn't feel obsessive. I mean, I was growing up and I thought I have a lot of other interests and stuff like that. Let's get rid of some clutter. I sold half my stuff to some MJ fan friends I have in real life, and I just got rid of that, like, that latching on to this hero. And there are a lot of aspects of him that I still view as like role modely or like a father figure, and that was a big thing when I was a teenager.
Hmm.
But it doesn't mean it has to be my whole life. And because I severed that diehard obsession, I also started being a lot more open to like realizing that a lot of the evidence that the fans do have doesn't, like, you can say like, oh yeah, that's a contradiction, or he changed his words talking about weight and stuff, right?
Hmm.
But that doesn't actually, but there's a difference, there's a difference between a contradiction or an inconsistency and a fact, right?
Right.
And at the time I never would acknowledge that. And I was also 50-50 for a long time, like 50-50
Oh.
split between
Hmm.
innocent. But then after leaving Neverland and also doing a lot more of my own thought and seeing people like you, I started going from 50 to now up to 70. I wouldn't say leaving Neverland is the reason,
Hmm.
but I started thinking more about certain things about them. Like, for example, and to be honest, it was very simple things, but I love to ask myself hard questions that I just cannot answer. For example, would a liar, if Wade and James are lying, would they hold on to a lie for 13 years?
Mm.
I just, and maybe you think they would, I don't know. I don't. I
Hmm.
do not think that if they were lying, they would hold on to it. This started in 2013. It's 2025.
Hmm.
I don't believe that liars hold on to a lie this long. I do not believe that Wade and James need the money.
Hmm. Right.
And I also mentioned in a couple videos actually that that whole corner of the bed story where Michael would have the boy on the corner of the bed bent over and
Right.
he would on the other side of the bed masturbating while watching.
Right.
I believe, and you can let me know if you agree with this, I believe 100% that is psychologically in line with his intimacy and isolation issues.
That's
100%.
interesting.